You're making a mistake. You just booked your celebrity cruise, and now you're dreaming of the Martini Bar, the Edge Villa, and that perfect sunset at the Sunset Bar. But wait, there are mistakes you can make, and you may have already made, that can cost you money, time, and your sanity. Today on Seymour Adventure Travel, we're breaking down some of the top mistakes people make when booking and sailing with celebrity. Be sure to stay for the Peeping Tom mistake that could completely ruin your cruise experience. Mistake number one, the always included confusion. With the basic celebrity pricing, there is always a lot included. And if you're happy with the food, drink, and entertainment that is provided, the only additional expense you need to address is your gratuities. But there is a lot that you will encounter on board that is not included. Wine, beer, cocktails, craft coffees, soda, fresh squeezed juices and smoothies, Wi Fi, and especially restaurants all cost extra. Now, you can pay for these as you go, however, this could leave you with a bit of a shock when you get your cabin bill at the end of your cruise, and it may leave you paying significantly more than you had to. One option you have is at booking is the always included fare option. The mistake is just to presume that it is the best deal. For instance, if we were to add the always included package with our recent cruise, it would have been $595 per person, which would have come out to about $75 a day. The package gives you basic Wi Fi and beverages by the glass up to $10. The basic Wi Fi will typically cost $20 per day per person, so if you drink a specialty coffee that costs, after gratuities, $7 to $10, a smoothie, and four or more adult beverages, it likely will save you money. However, if only one of you needs to check emails and text messages while on board, because that's about all you can do with the basic Wi Fi, you know that, and you know you won't be drinking all that much while on board, the always included will not be a good deal. Likewise, if you're both power internet users and you drink higher end premium cocktails, you may be better served with the Celebrities Premium Wi Fi and drink package. The mistake is to pay for a package without first thinking about what you will want and understanding what you will get. Mistake number two, the shore excursion trap. Celebrity targets a more refined traveler, and their excursion prices can reflect that. Often you're paying a 40% markup for the convenience of booking through the ship. Since we're about adventure here, we also look to third party vendors or local guides to expand our selection of adventures and to find bargains. Particularly because we love to go scuba diving, and many times cruise lines have limited or sometimes no dive options. Depending on the port and how much time we will have there, we will look online and look for a dive shop where we can contact directly to book our dives. Also, you can look for self-guided tours of local sites or and just adventure out on your own with minimal expense. Just remember the golden rule. The ship won't wait for you if you're late on a private tour. One of the ways to avoid the risk of missing your boarding time is to book through an excursion provider that guarantees on-time return. These providers give you a list of available excursions based upon your ship's itinerary, so you won't need to worry about whether that snorkeling adventure will get you back to the ship on time. For your convenience, I've provided links in the description and comments for a couple of my go to providers that I use to book excursions. Also, be sure to check out our video on planning for your best port day. Mistake number three, missing the secret dining spots. Everyone knows about the main dining room and upcharge specialty restaurants for dinner, but breakfast and lunch, most of us just flock to the buffet at Ocean View Cafe. The mistake? Missing out on all the other options that are offered. If you're anything like me, you're not a fan of the buffet. It will work in a pinch, but if I can go an entire cruise without eating there, I am much happier. So, what are your options? First of all, for breakfast, the main dining rooms will sometimes offer seating where you can order freshly prepared a la carte menu items such as pancakes, waffles, omelets, and eggs Benedict. You're not going to dine and dash as quickly as you would at the buffet, but that's a trade off for a better quality food and service experience. Also, if you're just wanting especially coffee or smoothie with maybe a pastry, check out Il Basio and the Spa Cafe. For lunch, you can jump over to the Mass Grill for a cheeseburger, turkey burger, or even a veggie burger with fries. If you're on the Edge class ship, the Eden Cafe, Spice on the XL, provides you a fresher, more cultural lunch option to the buffet. These options are usually included in your fare, and typically they're healthier and half as crowded. Also, a good reason to upgrade your cabin to an Aqua class is the restaurant Blue. Many people claim it's the best dining experience on the ship. And if you're in Aqua class, it is included in your fare and it's exclusive to you. Mistake number 4. Dinner at 6, show at 7:30 fail. You look at the daily calendar and there's a show you want to see in the main theater. The show times are either 7:30 or 10 p.m. And if you're like us, you prefer the early show. If we're going to be up past 10, it is to be at the silent disco or something else that is active, or we're winding down our day with drinks and cigars. Also, if we are in port the next day where we are scuba diving, we're already in bed by 10, as scuba excursions typically mean we're getting off the boat at 8 a.m. The main dining room opens at 6 p.m. and the meals typically take about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, so plenty of time to make the show at 7:30, right? Yeah, maybe not. The 7:30 theater shows fill up early. We arrived at one show 15 minutes early and another 20 minutes early, and on both shows we were unable to sit together. Another show we arrived 30 minutes early, and the only seats together were on the front row at the corner of the stage. The mistake here is thinking you can do 6 p.m. in the main dining room and still get good seats for the 7:30 theater. To ensure good seats for the 7:30 show, we recommend showing up by 6:45. So dinner at 6 may not work. There's a couple of solutions. First option is to plan on dinner after the show. The shows are typically 55 minutes, so if you're exiting, you're just in time to arrive for the 8:30 seating in the main dining room. But if you don't like eating that late, you might want to consider a dining venue that lets you start earlier, like a specialty restaurant, or one of the quick bite options like the buffet or other quick bite options I mentioned earlier. Another option is to eat at the main dining room, but with a plan of skipping the dessert or appetizer, or maybe even both. Just let your waiter know that you're wanting to leave by 6:45 so that your entree is being expedited. This is a great way to relax for dinner and still get good sheets for the show. And frankly, it's probably good that I skip a dessert or two. Mistake number 5. Overlooking the infinite veranda conundrum. If you're booking on an Edge class ship, the Edge, Apex, Beyond, Ascent, Excel, you'll see infinite verandas. A lot of them. These aren't your traditional balconies. They're floor to ceiling windows that the upper half slides down to create sort of a French balcony. On the Edge class ships, there are relatively few traditional balconies as compared to the infinite verandas, and almost all of the balconies are suites. If you're looking for a stateroom that faces the ocean on an Edge class ship, most of your options will be these verandas. From speaking with people on board and others who have experienced the infinite verandas, there is a far from unified opinion about these rooms. We met many people who love them. One gentleman we met on board confessed he thought he would hate it, but after a few days, now he says he prefers it over the balcony. Those who like it say they love the floor to ceiling window view, the feeling of extra room that is now in the balcony as part of the overall cabin space. However, if you're like us and you enjoy getting out on the balcony to watch the waves and smell the sea air, the experience just isn't the same. Also, with the veranda, you essentially have to choose between the balcony experience and climate control for your cabin. There is a set of accordion doors that you can use to partition off the veranda from the rest of the room, but these are not very effective, so your room can get very warm and stuffy pretty quick. Also, the accordion doors are opaque and the blackout shade is mounted against the window. So when my husband wanted to go out on the balcony and let me sleep in, he couldn't, as the light coming through the window and doors would wake me. Even if the light wouldn't disturb me, the blackout shade and window are powered, and the mechanism that operates this is a bit loud. One morning, I was actually awakened by the neighbor opening their window next door. You can still get a balcony on the Celebrity with one of their older ships or by booking a suite on the Edge class, but the mistake is thinking that the Infinite Veranda is the same as a traditional balcony and then getting something that maybe you don't enjoy as much. Mistake number 6, the Edge Class Deck 12 Dilemma. This is a mistake that we discovered from our own experience. When booking a cruise, we always avoid the obstructed view cabins. I mean, the whole point of having a window, veranda, or balcony is to enjoy the view from your private stateroom. When you're researching cabin options with Celebrity, you can look at the ship floor plans, and the Celebrity clearly marks the rooms with obstructed views with little black diamonds. What may not be noted is cabins with restricted views. An example of this would be a room just forward or behind the lifeboats. There isn't anything directly in front of your view, but it may be close enough to obscure significant portions of your view. So, how does this affect Deck 12? After all, our lifeboats are on decks 5 and 6. Our problem was an issue that you wouldn't necessarily see from looking at the ship deck plans. When we're choosing a cabin, you always look at what is around the cabin that you're considering. This is not just what is on your deck, but also what is directly above and below the cabin. You don't want to be directly below a noisy pool deck or just above a theater or nightclub, as the noise can reverberate through the steel structure. I just recently rebooked a client on the XL to avoid this issue. We chose cabin 12773. This placed us a good distance from the busy elevators and staircase, and there were no public venues on our deck. Deck 11, just below us, was other staterooms, so we're good there, and just above us was the Ocean View Cafe, which isn't even open late at night, so we thought we were good. What the floor plan was not showing us was the significant overhang from the deck just above us. Some cruise lines like Princess and Viking will show an outline of the deck just above or below the deck you're on, so you at least would be aware of the overhang. Celebrity does not show this. Unless you're looking closely when comparing decks 12 and 14, you may not even notice that there is about an 8 foot or more overhang that restricted our overhead view. We survived and we still thoroughly enjoyed our cruise, but personally, had I known about this, I would have chose a cabin on a different deck to minimize this issue. And speaking of bad cabin choices, let me warn you about what I think is the worst cabins in Celebrity's fleet. But before we do that, be sure to like and subscribe so you're notified when we have more adventure and travel content and advice. Mistake number 7, choosing an Edge Class Peeping Tom cabin. Okay, folks, this one is a little weird, but it could completely ruin the use of your window on your stateroom. On the Edge class ships, they built a bump out in the structure of the ship so that they could mount the tracks for the magic carpet that runs up and down the side of the ship. They designed in this bump out suites with balconies that have side windows that look forward and backwards down the side of the ship. The problem is that from the window you can see into the windows of the first couple of cabins next to the bump out. I cannot tell you exactly how far into the cabin one could see, but honestly, I think this is a design flaw. The window on the side of the suite balcony should not exist, or at least be opaque. Frankly, I don't see how anyone would be comfortable leaving their shade open knowing that their neighbors could easily look in from just a few feet away. Now, these staterooms are the least expensive in their respective class because the bump does partially restrict the ocean view from the cabin. But this is a trap to uninformed travelers who choose this cabin because it's less expensive, only to find they're never comfortable opening their shade. Frankly, if you won't even open your shade during your cruise because of a lack of privacy, you could save even more money and just book an inside cabin for that view. Also, if you went with the least expensive route and chose a guarantee veranda where Celebrity assigned your cabin rather than you picking it, you may be assigned one of these rooms and you don't even realize it until you're on board. Mistake number 8, packing for the wrong vibe. Celebrity is modern luxury. You don't need to pack a tuxedo, but you won't expect a belly flop contest and neon tank tops either. The mistake is ignoring Celebrity's evening chic nights. It's not formal night, so again, no need for the tux, but it is a bit dressy. Think designer jeans and button down shirts, or maybe a blazer, or for the ladies, a nice sundress or a cocktail dress. You can go full formal if you want to make it a very special night. But if you underdress, you'll probably feel a little out of place at the high end lounges. And I personally witnessed one couple being turned away from the main dining room as he was wearing a t shirt. We showed up in slacks and button down shirts without a jacket or sport coat, and we were just fine. So you don't need to go too far. Celebrity is one of my favorite ways to cruise, but you just want to do it right. Were there any mistakes that we missed? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to see more.